Hello, Mr. Juan. How are you doing? Thank you for reaching out in regards to a website and Google Ads. So I'm going to do a quick audit, let you know how we can help, how we may be of service, and see if it's something you're interested in looking forward to do. So as you know, Miguel, we do his ads for the barbershop, Grayscale Barbershop, and he's done fairly well. So, we'd be happy to try and do the same for you. So first thing I do is I look up your company, Paramount Plumbing Services, and see what's there. So you have a website. Doesn't look like you have the basic SEO set up here. Then you have the Yelp. We have a couple of options here. What I'm checking is how well you're doing for your brand term. If you told a friend, or if a friend told a friend, hey, use Paramount Plumbing Services, which is what we call, low-hanging fruit. It's already a referral. How easy is it for them to find you online? Like, they're already sold. They already trust you. They just need to find your name and phone number. The easier it is for somebody to find your brand online, those are, layups. So if it's hard to find, not good. If it's easy to find, best. In your case, it looks like this is kind of a popular name, but you do come up here in this area, so it's perfect. It's already a head start versus zero. So we have that. We're going to take a look here at your website. So your website's in what I would consider a good start, but I think we could do a much better job of just making it feel a little bit more modern, making it feel what I would call like the best practices layout. Usually like this right here, I can kind of tell, how advanced the website is. You would want a home, about, a services. The services would have a service page for each one of them. And then the contact us wouldn't have a drop down. So, and then this would be the logo. This would have more of a, it's good. Like, I see the idea, like honest and reliable plumbing services, and then the phone number and like what residential, commercial, but it's just not laid out right. It's kind of like down and to the left. And, us doing this all the time, what I would suggest is, honest and reliable plumbing services in Houston, Texas, and then having a button to call now and a button to submit a form. Like, as soon as they get to the website, how can they contact you? For the person that's ready. For the person that's not ready, they're going to scroll down and read a little bit more. So number one, what are our services? Plumbing repairs, sewer, gas, and water lines. So this is good. Another thing I would highly recommend is adding these reviews from Google. So like but the issue with these, I guess that's the same thing, is that anyone can just write these in. If you instead take this and submit them, like integrate them, just showing you an example. Like this is specifically from Google. And so if they click here, they can go to the Google page. If they see this, they know that it's from the Google platform. And it's just a little bit more confirmed. It's a little bit more real because it's from Google. It's not just written onto your website. These are small optimizations that go a long way as people come in and look at your site. So there's that. On the homepage, the homepage is the most important part because the more that you say on the homepage, it should answer other questions. If they still come here and they're like, okay, well, what else do I want to know? And this is good. Like, I see the idea. This is all good. An advancement here would be some local SEO. So I'm not sure if you can see this plugin. So it doesn't have a title and it doesn't have a description. And it has one H1 tag, which is the honest and reliable plumbing services. So just to improve this dramatically, what you would want to do is you would want to add a title, description, and H1 tag and you want to optimize, right? But the reason you want to do that is because think about your website like a book. And every book has a title and it has chapters within that book. Right now, your book is empty. Again, I don't know if you can see this because I'm on a loom. It says description missing, keywords missing. So it doesn't have a title. Right now, it's just kind of making assumptions off of the words on the website, but we haven't specified a title. And then the other thing too is on the headers, it just says honest and reliable plumbing services, which is true, but Google doesn't necessarily know where you're located. It doesn't know, even the people that come to the site, what if they're in, what if they need to know where you're located? It's not an obvious question. 281, you can make the assumption, but telling Google directly is much better. Excuse me. And it goes a long way. So as part of that local SEO advancements, you can make each one of these, or we can help you make each one of these a location page. Why would you want to do that? That way, if somebody's looking for plumbing services in Cypress, Texas, we have a better opportunity to rank organically there because we have a specific page for it with the services that you do in that area. And that would go across the board for Katy, Texas, Wilder, Texas, Hockley, Magnolia, Tomball, Spring, because sometimes people look like this. You know, plumbing, Hockley, Texas. So this, as you can see, this is bringing up results for Hockley, Texas. I'm just doing some testing here. And here's exactly the point of why you want to do something like that. This Roto-Rooter has a service page called Hockley, Texas. And it's not even that great. But it worked. So this is not their main page. This is their location page. If I click this, it takes me home. And here, you'll probably see all the different locations that they have. Actually, they have one location. And so, or, let's see. I would assume they have several locations. Yeah, they do. I just can't find like the complete list. It looks like it dynamically changes depending on where you're at. But, nonetheless, see, here's some more. Fresno, Cinco Ranch, Cloverleaf. And then each one has a location page. So again, that's there because if somebody's looking for that combination of service and location, it'll prompt that page to appear. And so it's a very important thing to do because it gives you more area, more reach with your website instead of just focusing on the homepage. Again, the service page is kind of straightforward here. Each services you would want its own page. So right now it looks like it's just a list, you know, a name and a couple of bullet points. Having plumbing repair in Houston, Texas, having 800 characters to talk about what you do, how to contact you, frequently asked questions, some more reviews, some pictures. It's just optimizing the site so that when someone does get there, they'll immediately say, oh, okay, these guys know what they're doing. Let's move forward. So that's the local SEO part, and there's plenty to do there on this site. I would add a gallery page. I would add a About Us page, which is here. And for the, you know, the rest is kind of, the contact us can stay pretty much the same. I would just never mind. Oh, it's loading. I would just make sure it has like the normal, yeah, like what the hours, time, things like that. So that is the web design and local SEO process specifically. And then there's the ads part, right? So like if you want to pay for placement, which is the fastest way you can generate leads, let's say plumbing company. People pay for these placements. So you can see sponsored. These companies are paying for that placement. And when you click it, there's an X amount of cost to that. So it could be $2, it could be $3. But the reason we pay for it, the reason companies decide to pay for it is because the person looking for this is very in need or high intent of becoming a customer. No one's looking up for plumbing services if they don't need it, or their business needs it, or their friend needs it. Somebody needs it. Their mom needs it. Their son needs it. You know, no one's really looking for this unless they need it. It's similar with mechanic shop. It's similar with dentists. It's similar with lawyers. You don't look for that stuff unless you need it. So targeting these type of keywords is another way of someone saying, hey, I'm looking for someone to help me. And so we use SEMrush to do the keyword research. So super simple example would be like plumbing company. And so based off of this, it's going to give us a lot of options. So plumbing companies near me is a transactional intent, meaning they will pay money for this. Like the person is looking for a service. Volume is 27,100 per month. So that's how much people are looking it up. This is the United States. We just have to scale it down to a certain area. How much it costs. So in this scenario, it says $26.91. And so, you know, you would probably want depending on your budget, right? So if you want to run Google Ads, I usually say $750 to $1,500 a month is a good starting point. Let's say you want to run $4,000. That's honestly better. But also, if you wanted to do $500, we can make that happen. It's just expectation, right? So like we couldn't really go after these keywords; they're too costly. But what we could go after is some longer tail keywords, is what they're called. So instead of going after plumbing companies near me, we would probably go after plumbing company Houston, maybe, for example. It's still high. And this is why there's keyword research, right? So like depending on what you want to come up for is how we would select the keywords. Best plumbing company in Houston. This one's $16.26. And so also, if you speak Spanish, that's another one. We can actually do the same exact thing I've been speaking about, but just do it in Spanish, and it costs less because there's less searchers in the area for that. Although, being in Houston, there's a lot of Spanish speakers, but there's not... Every single company basically speaks Spanish, English, but not every single company speaks Spanish. So that's why there's a arbitrage there. And so again, for the Google Ads, we pick the best set of keywords depending on if you're trying to target a specific service or if you're just trying to go after general service or a mixture of both. It really depends on how much budget you have. The more budget, the more categories we can go after. The less budget, the more granular we have to be or more specific because there's just not enough budget to go around. And then we target the area, right? So is it a 20-mile radius? Is it a 30-mile radius? Is it a 50-mile radius? It's more depending on how far you want to drive if you do get the customer, or the estimate. But that is the process and pricing. I'm sorry, the process for our solution. And for this service, it costs $500 a month. That's our service fee to do the website, the local SEO, and manage the Google Ads. Apart from that, the Google ad spend goes directly to Google. So this keyword right here, I'm sorry, these clicks, it doesn't go through us. It goes to Google. And the way that works is usually there's thresholds. First, you might pay $50 and $100, but at some point you'll be paying every $500 worth of clicks. So again, it just depends on your budget, whether it's more or less categories and what I just mentioned. And here's a couple of websites we've made. This is for a roofing company here in Houston. We also do video, but I would say, and social media, but I would say that's like step 2. Step 1 is creating leads so that we can, get more people, not in your door, but you get in their door. Here's one called Create Home Services. For this one, we just built the site. We don't do any ads for this one. For this one, we do run Google Ads. Google Ads and local service ads, which are pretty good. I would always include those just because they don't hurt. I don't know if you've ran those or not. And then here's just another one. You'll find a common theme, right? Here's what they do, where they do it, how they can contact you, when you work, where you're located, and then just most popular services, other services, as you can see here, it's fully optimized. Customers, I'm not a fan of this, but this, they're calling on ours, and then like how they can reach you. And so that is the process, pricing. If there's any questions, please let me know. And of course, I'm happy to hop on a call and discuss in more detail. So thank you so much. Goodbye.